Alright, so now that I got my iPad, excuse the Corvette, I know this isn't a Corvette video, but you know, I plan on getting one here soon. You want to go to, so I have both Android and Apple. So I'm going to do this off my tablet because it's bigger, it should be easier to see. You want to download the app called Blue Ghost, BLUEGHOZT. He includes that in his instructions. Once you get it connected, it's going to find your controller, in which I've already had mine. And then you'll see there's some stuff preparing to sync, synchronize, and then goes connected, right? So initially, this portion is going to be blank. There's not going to be anything here, right? So I'm going to try. So you can go in the show modes, and this is going to be on the home. And then you can change a bunch of different things. And then you have the car, which is your turn signal, you know, and then you have a drop down where you can choose how you want it to react. And then you got parking lights. What Mike has told me is that this one for this color doesn't do anything. But then your parking lights, you have different things you can do. So I'm gonna keep that as it is. And then the brake signal, you got two options right now, basic and strobe. Strobe is your F1 style, and I pretty much prefer that. And then you have your different speeds, your cutoffs. So I'll demonstrate that. Your parking lights, the size and the speed for whatever you choose to have. And then let's see, you got the brake signal with the duration and the speed. And then this here is your master slider. And then you have this screen, which should only show strip for us. So on device 1, don't change it, make sure it stays a strip. And then on the right, strip as well. Don't touch any of this stuff, you don't need to, really. It's already set up by Mike. And then our tail lights, once it reads the controller, it should say 215, so that what Mike explained to me is that there's 430 bulbs in this tail light, not including the reverse lights. For the reverse lights, I want to say he said there's another 60 for those. So you do the math on that. And then you have this lightning symbol. Make sure your LED type down here says RGB. You know, Pride V1, and then nothing else we really need to touch on here. And then your Bluetooth is just, you know, making sure this is where you're trying to connect it. To save your settings, whatever you choose in here, you can hit this X right here, and it'll disconnect it from the device, and then it will save the settings that you set up in here. So now that I'm in here, let's go ahead and get on one of these show modes. So you see that I clicked the meteor shower and my lights are reacting. So I'm gonna get closer so you guys can see. So this is the meteor shower for the show mode. It reacts on both sides. And then, so if I was to click one for it says popcorn, right, then it does this. And there's all sorts of different modes in here. Mike is going to be updating the app and doing a lot more things. So now that I'm going to go in here, so I tap new. You can obviously change any of these colors. All you gotta do is tap on it, change it on the color wheel, whatever your preference is, and your lights are gonna respond to that. So let's see. Yeah, it's in there. Then you have this again, the master slider here, you know, as far as the intensity of the color. And then you have the master dimmer. So for the master dimmer, you know, in our instructions it says to keep it at 50%. So if you're creating a new mode, make sure you turn that down to 50, and then you can leave that there. The frequency you can move around, the fading you can move around. So it does different things when you do that. So right now I just set it all the way back to 0, and this is how it responds. So then if I move it all the way up to 100, then you can see it changes. And that's for the speed. Now this one here is the frequency. right? I slid the frequency all the way to the right, and you can see how it reacted. Now if I slide it all the way down to 0, this is what happens. And it's a lot slower than it was before. So I put that one at like 50% myself. I can turn it up, turn it down, whatever I choose to do. And then you have your different modes. So you got popcorn, waves, Cylon, builder, kaleidoscope, starfall, parade, solid, strobe, spark, heartbeat, dazzle, lava lamp, crossfire, hyper, spectral, slats, line dance, stacker, orbit, and meteor shower. So let's see here. Right now we're on popcorn, so I'll go to kaleidoscope. And what that's doing is just all the colors are shifting over to the left, or to the outside of the car on both sides. So I know it's kind of hard to see in the video, but it's moving. And then, like, say I want to do something like solid, and then the colors that you chose is going to appear here. It's going to go through the colors, kind of like a slideshow. See, and then it goes green. And then again, like I said, you can change the speed of everything, and you know, the intensity and all that stuff. Or you can delete things. There's a little trash box here where you can delete it. Whenever you add it, it'll put back the same color, so I could literally delete everything and leave just the one color, and it'll stay solid. Now if I go to the car, right, you have your turn signal. I'm gonna go turn my car on. So I'm going to turn on my turn signal. And as you can see, that's the speed, and that's the color, right? So I have it at sequence right now. So if I change it to wave, it'll do this. If I change it to bounce, let's see here. I don't like that. So this is basic. This is wave. The sequence, you can kind of see the difference between the two. Wave scrolls across, where sequence just kind of shows it out. And then bounce, it's like a weaker one. I don't really know how to explain this one, but it doesn't, I mean, it can, I think. Let's see here. So now, as you can see, it's not really touching all the lights. Now if you change the speed of this, now say you go up, this speed is going to make sure it goes all the way to the corner. Or you can turn it down, and then it'll only go so far. And then you have bubble, and this is what bubble does. It comes from the middle out. And then if you change the speed, it's going to make sure that it goes all the way out to the edges. And then of course you can change colors of the turn signals. So I'm going to put this back to one that I like, which is the sequence. You can change. You can make it any color on this wheel, and then with the master, of course, that's going to determine, you know, how dark or how bright it gets, right? So for the turn signals, I want to say Mike said to keep it at like 80% for the brightness on the master wheel. And then on the parking lights, he said to keep it at like 25. So if I turn the parking lights on, don't know if y'all were able to catch that animation. Let me try it again. So I turn off the parking lights and it does that. And I turn on the parking lights and it comes back up. So, and then that is based on these options here: basic, pulsate, materialize, scan sweep, rainbow road, oscillate, or what have you. So I'll go through let's see. So oscillate, they kind of fade out, and then they kind of fade in. Or no, that was basic, sorry. And then pulsate, it's like really bright in some areas, and then it kind of comes in and out. So it's like it gets bright and then it dims, and then it gets bright and then it dims. Materialize, I want to say, is very similar. So this is what materialize does when you turn them off. When you turn it on, it does the same thing, and then it goes to the color that you chose for the parking lights. Then there's a scan sweep. Let's see if I can get this. Didn't catch it. So that's when I turn it off. I'm gonna set this down, and I'm gonna try and put it on top of something so you can see, so I can stop running back and forth. Alright, so now I got this on a tripod. I can turn the song off as I please. Now, ooh, actually I like that one. I might leave it as that. So that scan sweep, and then rainbow road is what you saw earlier. Sure am. And that's that. And then you turn them off. And that's what it does. So that's all the parking lights options. And then the brake lights, you have strobe and basic. So I'm gonna go with basic first. I'm sure you guys saw the difference between basic and strobe. I'll keep it on strobe, and then let me go back and readjust my turn signal. Somewhere right there ish. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, that pretty much concludes the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I've done this several times now. And then if not, I mean, you can always ask Mike. He's an extremely helpful guy, and he was able to help me out a lot when I was struggling with this yesterday. Like I said, I'm not electrically inclined, so that brings a real pain when trying to do something of this nature. Other than that, like I said, I'll put some videos in here and we'll be good to go.